Hi, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new season of Duckpin Magic. We're in Hyattsville, Maryland. We've got 60 minutes of ADT action for you coming up. Don't go away. Once again, welcome to Duckpin Magic. I'm Mike Sello. With me is former Pro Tour director Frank Appelstein, now a staff attorney at Stephen L. Miles. And Frank, today we've got the ADT, which for viewers who don't know is the Amateur Duckpin Tour.
These bowlers qualified out of Fair Lanes East Point, 215 entries, and the top prize today will be $900 for the winner, $450 for the runner-up.
All right, we've got our four bowlers standing by. We'll meet them and get started with our first match right after this.
Duckpin excitement. Duckpin fun. Duckpin bowling at Johnson's Lanes in the Hamden Plaza. Discover enjoyable low-cost fun for the whole family. Whether you want to join in a league, play for fun, for exercise, or are planning a special birthday bowling party, Johnson's Lanes is your Duckpin bowling center. Don't miss the fun. Fall and winter leagues now forming for teams or individuals. To join in, call us now. For the young and young at heart, it's Johnson's Duckpin Lanes in the Hamden Plaza.
That's what I did. I sat my son down, explained it to him, simple, uncomplicated.
At first, I didn't know what he was talking about.
I just took authority, you know what I'm saying?
He was nervous and sweaty. I was thinking, you know, what's this all about?
You know, if they got questions, you just answer them. Well, look,
If you need help talking to your kids about drugs, call for this free book.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
This is where I live. There are lots of doctors and machines for me and the other kids. Last week, a guy named Mike came. He took us all on a camping trip.
Mike gives up a weekend a month to help a disabled child, but he gets back a feeling that lasts forever.
When I get better, you know what? I'm gonna take Mike fishing.
To find out what you can do in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
you begin with raw steel. Shape it with fire, muscle, and sweat. Polish it to razor-sharp perfection. What you end up with is a Marine. We're looking for a few good men with a medal to be Marines.
Welcome back to Hyattsville, Maryland. We're at Fair Lanes, Prince George, and our first match features Russ Morrison and Wally Warfield. Russ Morrison will bowl first, and we bring in our ADT Tour Director, Chet Gaffney, to tell us a little bit about Russ Morrison.
Yeah, Russ Morrison has been a member since March of 1990, and he and his father joined together and won a doubles tournament. He's very active on the tour, and he would like to win the first singles championship in the family.
Russ bowls with a 128 average. He'll be using a 11+1 handicap for today's match. This is a handicapped tournament, and we move up the ladder. The winner of this match will face off against the number 2 seed, and the winner of that match moves on to face the number 1 seed, and that is the championship match. You'll see it all a little bit later on today here on Duckpin Magic. So Russ Morrison finishes up with a 7, but you add in his 11 plus 1 handicap in the first frame and gives him a total of 18, 19. And here comes Wally Warfield, who is a ADT champion, won a couple of times. What else can you tell us about Wally, Chet?
Well, Wally's been an active member since 1987. He's won 2 tournaments, and he's hoping to be one of our rare 3-time winners. His wife, Jean, also bowls, and they won a Fair Lanes Summer Tour together.
Wally's got a 136 average. He's going to add 6 plus 2 pins. And he's got the fortunate bounce off the back wall, Frank, and he picks up the mark to start off the match. Duckpin Magic now moves to further action in this same match.
Nope. 29.
4 frames gone. And in the 5th, that was a tough one. On the mark. Rips through the left side. Still lifting at the line. As many people can tell you that have bowled on TV, the frames go by very fast. It's a 9 count. Wally Warfield steps in as you took a look at some of the crowd turning out here to watch these ADT bowlers compete. Chet Gaffney passes me a note saying that Wally, since 1987, has bowled in 187 ADT stops. Wow.
Don't miss many weekends.
Counted 7 on the mark. Almost came up with the fortunate bounce off the sidewall to pick up the spare, but instead will throw the 3rd ball. But he will have a commanding lead here of over 30 pins. He's got it. After 5 frames, we're halfway home in the first match here on Duckpin Magic for today's program, and Wally Warfield holding a 94-59 lead.
35 pins in favor of Wally Warfield.
First open frame in the match, too, for Wally. That last frame. A little tight. But that is a spare break that will go for you, even though the split sits there. You get those 3 pins to work with off on the right-hand side to try to chase down the 7.
Right. Concentrate on making the 3-pinner. The single will take care of itself.
But if you're wondering why the lanes are as bright and shiny as they are, it's because it's a synthetic surface, and it's a sort of a thin plastic laid in over the top of the actual wood.
This is the only duckpin house in the country that has the synthetic lanes. We're seeing more of the 10-pin establishments going to that in that direction. PG with their 40 would be the only duckpin lanes.
Well, Russ Morrison sees Wally leave him 2 open frames. Unfortunately, can't take advantage of it with the first ball, but perhaps he can pick up the mark here. Still get an opportunity in the 6th frame to start to close some ground. I'll tell you, Wally Warfield jumped on him quick. Got off spare strike, spare. There's a nice shot by Russ. That's a mark, and picks up some ground there. Appreciative crowd. Drops 9, which will count on the mark. Pulls himself to within 24 pins and can put another mark up on the board here. Oh, left again. Left all match long. That was a big pin too, because with that he puts the mark up on the 7th frame and maybe put just a little pressure on Wally. But instead it's an open frame for Russ Morrison. He's got 87 after 7 for Russ Morrison, while Wally Warfield steps in 102 after 6. And with a mark here, he can pretty much jump out in front to a point where Russ Morrison may not be able to catch up. He does with a big strike in the 7th frame.
So on top, his opponent missed a single. He came back and threw a strike. Wally's taking advantage of the circumstances. First box, he picked the 5-9, but the pin came back, threw a strike on it. So he's been very opportunistic during this event. Thrown the ball very well, very well.
Number 2 seed on the liner, Deb Kropfelder, waiting for the winner of this match. Right now, Wally Warfield has got a big leg up on that. And he's looking for the double. Drops 9 and will look to put a spare on top of that strike.
Shooting at the 4 pin.
Got it. Good arm. So 7 frames down. Wally Warfield in the 8th marks, and so he's got marks in 6 of the 8 frames thus far. Russ tries to compensate for that left-hand pull. He leaves it wide right this time. He's down by a bunch. 35 plus if he doesn't mark in this frame. Nice shot. Well, he's hanging in there. It's important for him at this point to take a look at Wally sitting on the sidelines, that Russ try to put something together.
He must strike here.
That's the word, just strikes.
Pushes through the middle there, counts 4 on his mark, and got away from him. Morrison. Here comes Wally Warfield working on a mark in the 8th frame. Easy going style.
Wally gets 7 here. He would close out the match. His first ball.
Watching over Wally's shoulder, tight on the head pin. He knocks out the middle. Counts 4.
Has closed him out now.
Shoots the gap, and we'll have the 3rd ball coming up. We'll have a 140 plus in the 9th frame to 108 for Russ Morrison. Lead by 35.
The most that Russ can bowl if he threw 3 strikes would be 138, and Wally has 143 already.
So Wally Warfield will finish up, but he'll move on to our 2nd match of the day, which we'll be seeing in just a moment here on Duckpin Magic. Key to this match, Wally got off to that quick start, the first 4 frames. And for good measure, threw in a strike spare in the 7th and 8th, and that was all she wrote for Russ Morrison, who couldn't put anything together. Had some marks, but couldn't back them up. Picked off the 7th pin there. He will finish with a 152 or a 153, depending on whether he gets this one. He does, and it's a 153 for Wally Warfield. Russ Morrison will jump up to finish things off here. But the number 3 seed advances, and we'll have that next match for you coming up just a couple of moments as our ADT bowlers continue to look for that top prize of $900. Russ Morrison will finish the day, get a check for $100. Nice 4th place finish for him. Russ is on a Baltimore, Maryland. He's got some impressive career highs, 203 single, 523 3-game series, but today was just not his day. He had won a ADT doubles tournament with his dad before this. But the TV lights and the pressure of the tournament got to him today. He finishes up with 117. Wally Warfield wins it, 153-117. Back with our second match after this.
Duckpin excitement. Duckpin fun. Duckpin bowling at Johnson's Lanes in the Hamden Plaza. Discover enjoyable low-cost fun for the whole family. Whether you want to join in a league, play for fun, for exercise, or are planning a special birthday bowling party, Johnson's Lanes is your Duckpin bowling center. Don't miss the fun. Fall and winter leagues now forming for teams or individuals. To join in, call us now. For the young and young at heart, it's Johnson's Duckpin Lanes in the Hamden Plaza.
This is Brittany Dargon. She's just like any 8-year-old girl in America, but Brittany is different. Brittany has a chronic heart condition. She desperately needs a heart and lung transplant to survive.
To save Brittany, we need $250,000 for her operation. Store Cable is joining us in this effort, but we need your help. Please send your donation to Brittany Dargan Heart Fund, care of Store Cable, P.O. Box 7253, New Haven, Connecticut, 06519.
We've already said no to drugs. What do we said yes to? Computers.
I like dancing.
Music.
Hip-hop.
Boys.
Girls are weird because I don't fight over boys, let me tell you right now.
Different types of sports.
I like taking pictures. My history.
Yeah, I want to go to college.
I like cars. I want to be a lawyer because I like helping people out.
Hey, we don't want drugs. Know why? We have better things to do.
For a lot of people with epilepsy, things have changed. More and more people like these are reaching new heights, traveling new roads, swinging for the fences. Treatment of epilepsy has come a long way. Most people now live normal lives. Most people. Some have more difficulty, and they need more help. Call the Epilepsy Foundation of America, 1-800-EFA-1000. Let's not leave anybody out of life.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young.
The flag was still there.
We studied its importance when we were in our teens.
He saw the flag.
We sing its praises at every sporting event. We display it when we celebrate.
Present.
Lower it when we mourn.
Our flag is presented on behalf of a grateful nation.
And honor our heroes with it when they've fallen. The flag of the United States of America. It stands for what we are and what we believe in. How we treat it says a lot about us.
Match number 2 featuring Wally Warfield and Debbie Kropfelder, and Debbie will make Wally bowl first here, fresh off that 153-117 win, and we'll jump in with ADT Tour Director Chet Gaffney to talk a little bit about Debbie and her background.
Yeah, Debbie has been one of our more active lady members since March 1988. She was second seeded, hopes to win her first tour stop. I know one thing, she has all the women rooting for her. She bowled real well in the semifinals, and I'll tell you, Wally's going to have to bowl more than 153 to win this game.
Okay, Chet Gaffney joining us here lane side, if you will, at the Fair Lanes Prince George in Hyattsville, Maryland. Mike Sella along with Frank Applestein. Wally Warfield, second ball, first frame, second match. Tom Hudson awaiting the winner of this match for all of the marbles in this ADT Final Four. See, Wally's got the ADT championship shirt significant in the fact that it does represent the an ADT winner on the tour. And Debbie Kropfelder will step in. Debbie is out of Baltimore. High game 208, high series of 486. Our first look at her today on Duckpin Magic. Debbie's ball right there in the pocket. She threw 2 strikes in the 2 warm-up balls that she threw here on the lanes, Frank. So I guess she was serving notice to Wally very early that she means business.
Maybe Chet is right. 153 will not be enough to beat her.
Nice ball for a spare. Debbie will count 14 plus 1 in the first frame. That is her handicap.
Duckpin Magic now moves to further action in this same match.
64 plus to 53. Wally Warfield leading it here in the 4th frame. Tom Hudson standing by. He'll be our next bowler to face off against the winner of this match, and that'll be for the championship.
Worth $900.
Wally's going to be pretty happy with that 8 count. One of the few balls we've seen that hasn't been right on the head pin.
It's a nice count considering threw the ball out the building, as we would say. Good 8 count. 19 pin lead.
Shoot 1-on-1 here to try to pick up the maximum 10 count in the frame. '81 after 5. See just a small section of the big crowd on hand to watch this ADT finals. 2 more weeks of the amateurs coming up.
Let's see if Debbie makes an adjustment so she will be. Look at her eyes. She's definitely a spot bowler. Straight down. Still a little full, but it's a lot better than what she had. I need another half-board move.
Important for Debbie to hit now what she's aiming at, and then forget the frame and move on to the next one. See if we can get some more marks on the board. Debbie. Remains a 19-pin advantage for Wally Warfield. Debbie is out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Wally's from Harford County, Perry Hall area. No, that might be Baltimore County. I'm sorry.
Better ball there.
Debbie's done about everything Joe Rainier's asked her to hit the head pin every first ball, but she hasn't got a break except for the first frame.
Active bowler on the ADT Tour. Does her bowling over at Fairlanes East Point. I'll try to pick up the wood here for turning things over to Wally Warfield for frames 7 and 8 coming up. I'll tell you, the TV lights have a way of humbling your game out there. Makes you much more conscious. You can see that little grip that Wally has on that one finger.
Yeah, he has a trouble with that finger, and he cuts it a lot, so he's wore this rubber insert on it from a glove, and it's helped him.
Just pulled that one left of the 5 pin.
Makes the 5-pin now. He'll have a 21-pin lead, however.
Yeah.
Nope.
I was going to say, Wally keeps winning. He might be able to market that thing on the finger. Might be some kind of a bowling aid that he can market under the Warfield banner.
Oh, we have a bunch of bowlers now wearing baseball gloves.
Is that right?
When they bowl.
You mean golf gloves, don't you, Chet? Golf gloves.
And golf.
All right.
There's a strike for Wally Warfield. Well, he fulfills the old axiom. Miss a single, get a strike, right? Is that all in an effort to get better grip on the ball? Is that why everybody's wearing gloves?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Sorry, Chet. Before we answer that, you see that?
Good action.
Yeah, good.
Sliding off your hand, sweat, perspiration. I'll tell you one thing. This Debbie has not got any real breaks since the first frame.
No. She's been hitting the object pin, which is the head pin, unfortunately hitting it a little too full, and sometimes you don't get what you deserve.
Too much of a good thing. You really do part of the head pin.
Yep.
Not all of it. But we shall see.
Just been too accurate today, that's all.
Too accurate for our own good.
Nine more for Debbie, and it's a 179 match. But more importantly, Wally has a strike in the seventh frame that he's working on. Debbie's going to need to put a mark up on the board in this frame if she hopes not to be shut out before the 10th frame. There it is. Finally got a break.
There is some justice.
Although she probably would have said that should have come 6 frames earlier, as we're going to take a look again at Debbie's strike. See the slide at the line, and gets good pin action off that side wall. He said what happened there is it carried all the way across.
Wally's working on his strike right now. Like double. Whoa.
10 pin standing tall. Second ball is a big one for Wally. He's still working on that strike. Got it. Fifth mark of the match for Wally Warfield. His fourth mark, had 3 in a row. Second, third, and fourth. Comes back with a strike in the 7th and a spare in the 8th. Has the lead in this match, looking to wrap up win number 2 here. There's a strike. The match on the line, and Wally comes up big late. He answers Debbie's strike with a spare and a strike of his own.
Debbie also, like Wally's opponent last match, must strike here. Must. If she has any chance at all.
Well, didn't start out all that well, but she was able to get all but the 7 pin to go down.
Just say Debbie's made all the breaks.
Just too few of them to shoot at, however.
So Tom Hudson, awaiting the winner of this match, will be shooting for the championship here on Duckpin Magic in just a few minutes.
7 count, gave Debbie 116 through 9. Tough spare break this shot.
She'll finish up here. 123 for Debbie Kropfelder. So Debbie up 124, make that, and she finishes up in third position. $225 for her tournament's effort. And here comes Wally Warfield, who will either make or break Chet Gaffney's pre-match prediction. Wally wanted to make sure he's on the right lanes and all. Well, you're right, Chet. It did take more than a 153 to win this match.
Unfortunately, Debbie didn't get her 150 or better.
Wally number 2 would have defeated Wally number 1.
That's right. And he's looking to put up a mark here. He's got it. From that late game surge that put the match away. Sort of the same, sort of the same pattern. Gets off to that quick start. Has a little lull in the middle of the match. Comes back strong at the end. Last ball of the match. Wally Warfield will count 8. That's the time to get that one. A 7-10 split, but it's a 168-124 win as Wally Warfield wins number 2 and moves on to face Tom Hudson, and we'll be back with that one right after this.
That's what I did. I sat my son down, explained it to him. Simple, uncomplicated.
At first, I didn't know what he was talking about.
I just took authority, you know what I'm saying?
He was nervous and sweaty. I was thinking, you know, what's this all about?
You know, if they got questions, you just answer them. well, look,
If you need help talking to your kids about drugs, call for this free book.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
This is where I live. There are lots of doctors and machines for me and the other kids. Last week, a guy named Mike came. He took us all on a camping trip.
Mike gives up a weekend a month to help a disabled child, but he gets back a feeling that lasts forever.
When I get better, you know what? I'm gonna take Mike fishing.
To find out what you can do in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
You begin with raw steel. Shape it with fire, muscle, and sweat. Polish it to razor-sharp perfection. What you end up with is a Marine. We're looking for a few good men with a medal to be Marines.
For a lot of people with epilepsy, things have changed. More and more people like these are reaching new heights, traveling new roads, swinging for the fences. Treatment of epilepsy has come a long way. Most people now live normal lives. Most people. Some have more difficulty, and they need more help. Call the Epilepsy Foundation of America, 1-800-EFA-1000. Let's not leave anybody out of life.
Our championship match. features Wally Warfield and Tom Hudson. It's the youth against the veteran in this match.
Yeah, Tom, this was his first stop on our tour, and he came in at a 123 average. Now on the tour, he's averaging 135.
Well, Wally serves notice to Tom. What else can you tell us a little bit about Tom Hudson Jr.?
And Tom is
you're talking about
was
Tom.
top seeder with a 539 set.
Take a look at Wally's strike there as the pins kick out.
Yeah.
Good look at Tom here, though. Top seeded coming in. Just giving us a little bit of a difference in speed as far as the velocity of the ball going down the lanes, Frank. We see our first power bowler of the day. Tom just 18 years of age, but come a long way in a short period of time as far as bowling is concerned. Missed it. Toughest pin to pick up for the right-handed bowler is the 10 pin on the spare. Stay down and extend. Got it that time. Look at Wally as gets off to those quick starts, puts his opponent in the hole, and that's it. They have a hard time catching up.
Tom's dad was a pretty good bowler. I'm sure Frank's well aware of Tom Hudson Sr.
No question about it. Dad's a left-hander. And another difference is Tom Jr. is a spot bowler. Nice delivery for a young fella. A lot of pressure on him. First tournament like this.
Oh, nice shot. Tom Hudson.
Sort of strange. You get up there and miss a single and then come back and make a fine shot. Tough shot.
Marks in the second frame. He's got 15 pins straight up on the board, obviously being his first tournament. Hadn't been able to earn any bonus points before that. Wally Warfield 6+2 or 8 for his handicap, so it's a difference of 7 pins to start with in favor of Tom Hudson.
Got a good break there, knocking out the 9 pin. Relatively easy 3-6 2-pinner. Easy for me to say.
Wally had a strike in the first frame, and so he'll be working on filling that here. He does with a spare. Take a look at Wally's first couple of frames in all the matches. First match you saw today, he had a spare strike. Second match, well, he was open, but he had a spare, and that was a string of 3 in a row that he started. And then now he's got strike spare to start the match here. So not letting the opponent jump out in front of him. He's taking advantage of the situation, although there he pushes through the middle, counts 5.
Hasn't done that very much. He's been in the pocket most of the time. They'll just try and work that wood.
I think I should put a stop to that audience high fives.
Good shot. Wait a minute. He did everything but make that shot. Tremendous effort.
Crowd got excited about it. They thought he might have had a shot at it. Comes back to the third ball, picks it up. 53 after 3 for Wally. Tom Hudson steps back in. He's got a mark working for him in the second frame. That's a quick 9.
And he just took over the lead after 2 boxes, 44-43. Love to make this single.
He's missed a single already in the first frame.
Let's hope he doesn't remember that. Just concentrate on the now. Right on.
Yep. Right there. So after the open first frame, comes back with back-to-back marks in the second and third frames. So just a brief glimpse of the way Tom rotates the ball in his hands as he's getting ready to bowl.
Sort of looks like some of the pitchers in baseball as they move the ball around in their hands to find a comfort zone. And he comes through.
Pushed through the middle. Same spot that Wally did on lane 35 here at Fair Lanes P.G. 5-pin advantage after 3 frames goes to young Tom Hudson.
This is the first time Wally's been behind after the 3rd frame.
That's something new for him.
Well, when all is said and done today, we've given over $1,600 away, which is what we like to do on Duckpin Magic. We love to give money away.
This match is $450 difference between first and second, so it's worthwhile to win this thing. See if Wally can get right back in the action.
Wow, look at that stroke. That's a beauty by Wally Warfield. Second of the match for him. And we'll take a look again at it. Very simple delivery, follow through, and see the results.
Clean strike. Notice that Wally had taken off a few years from bowling, as a matter of fact, 25 years. And now I think he's a better bowler now than I remember him in the past.
Both bowlers having a little bit of problem on 35 as they push through the middle once again. Got the case of Wally Warfield trying to become a member of the high echelons of the ADT with 3 wins. He's got 2 to his credit already, and Tom Hudson trying to pick up his first in his very first tournament. He had that happen before, Chet. Bowler comes in, bowls his first tournament and wins it all.
We've had one do that in 6 years.
Nice pickup there by Wally.
Well, Chet, there must have been 2.
Let me
tournament.
Let me rechange that. First tournament, that guy won his first tournament.
Besides that, though, you had somebody
besides
else.
that, one of our fellows on our latest shows.
See again the preparation by Tom Hudson before he winds up and fires again right on the head pin. This will be an open frame for Tom.
I'd like to fit this ball right between the 3 and 6.
Count 7 and has fallen behind by 9 pins in the match after 5 frames. So we're midway through the championship match here on Duckpin Magic of this ADT final. Mike Sella with Frank Applestein and ADT Tour Director Chet Gaffney on hand here in Hyattsville, Maryland. Hope you're enjoying the bowling wherever you might be watching. Pulled to the left a little bit.
I could hear the squeal of the heel when he stuck with the approach.
Yep.
Sometimes that's caused all these synthetic lanes a little too fast. First step, and boy, you're going to hit that next to last step right on the heel. Stopping cold.
Same spot.
As a young fella, I hope he doesn't lose his composure. He hasn't had much tournament competition, so he may not know how to go bowl right through this adversity.
Nice 9 count there as he averted what could have been a disastrous frame. 81 after 6, and here's where Wally usually puts it into second gear.
They're tied, however, Wally has this box. Whenever he gets this box, he will be ahead. This could be a pivotal point for him. Good idea. Throw off the side. If you do, just don't hit the 3 or 2 pin full. He did, and he has a relatively easy 3-pinner. 1-3.
Well, Mike, I
No, 1, 2,
don't
4.
think they're ever out of the woods. Remember last time we taped that Nick Sifley in his 10th frame?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Through 3 strikes.
That was incredible. I was there watching it. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't wait to go home and see it when it was on the following week.
Similar to a Pro Tour tournament several years ago in which
Wes
John
O'Donnell.
Gorman beat Wes O'Donnell by throwing 4 strikes, including 3 in the 10th frame.
Including one where the ball rolled across.
That's right. The ball stayed
deck.
on the pin deck and sought out. I think it was a
Wally.
side pin.
Wally had a little problem with the approach there.
Yeah.
Stuck.
Well, a lot of times on the synthetic surface, I've seen it before, where if somebody's slides a little bit on the heel, a little bit of rubber gets there, it really puts a jam on your slide. And I think that's what happened over on 35, because neither bowler looks like they've been real comfortable over on that lane. They do a great job here technically of keeping things in great order. The lanes are well appointed. The machines work well and kept relatively free of any kind of technical problems. Wally finishes up 100 after 7, and here's where Tom Hudson's going to have to make his move. Well, Wally's given him some life with 3 straight open frames here in the middle of the match.
Let's see if this young gun can get one right in the pocket.
He's got it. Strike is a powerful weapon in the duckpin game.
And he throws that big heater.
Yep. Again, we'll take another look at Tom Hudson. His strike in the 7th frame. Things very interesting now.
Good extension.
Yep.
Good knee bend.
Got the bounce off the sidewall to take out the 5 pin.
Look at Wally. Will this big young fella throw another one in there and put me in trouble?
Yeah, that's exactly what could happen right here. Wally had his chance to put the match away, didn't do it. Ooh. But he does count on the second ball here yet, so he's in
Came right around the ball.
Relatively good shape as far as the count if he can knock down a bunch of pins here.
Ooh. Unfortunate. Still in the match, though.
Yep.
We're going to have a tight one.
Trailing by 4 after the full 7 frames are counted and the pins are totaled.
104 through 8. Wally has 100 through 7 boxes. So he's trailing by 4, but he has 3 balls to
Well,
do
Wally will
something.
be able to jump on that frame, he hopes.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think he believes he dodged a big bullet there.
New life.
And we'll see what happens. Got the roll, got the spin, knocked down the 7. He puts the strike up on the board. Well, pretty similar to the first 2 matches we've seen Wally won. As you see the tail end of that ball smashing into the pocket, pin spinning around on the deck and seeking out the 7 and knocking it down. And now things have been reversed where Wally can really put Tom in a hole with another big count here on the strike.
And Wally has a 6-pin lead plus the first 2 balls, the counts that he gets on the first 2 balls. Obviously, he'd like to knock them all down with this pitch.
Crowd very quiet in anticipation, and here's Wally.
Next best thing.
Leaves the 5. I'm telling you, Wally wins. There could be a lot of those Playtex rubber gloves without that finger in them. No. Picks up the spare. Strike spare, Wally in the 8th and 9th. Boy, that was a couple of big frames for him.
All he needs is a name for it, and Chet Gaffney will market it for him.
I know a lot of women around the East Coast will be very upset that they've got a hole in their glove there. But here's Tom Hudson. He needs put some marks up on the board. He's going to look to put a strike up here on the 9th frame. Climb back in this match.
Now this is the one that he missed in the first box. Let's see if he learned anything or went to school on this. We would say he must make this because he's trailing by 16 pins plus if he doesn't. This is a must make. Nope.
Remember in the first frame he went wide right.
Yes.
And this time realizing that he compensated and overcompensated as you take a look at Wally Warfield studying the scoreboard.
Afraid of the ditch, I would say.
There he came back and picked it up with the good throw, but
I'm sure we'll hear more from Hudson Jr.
Oh, I'm sure of that, yeah. Keeps bowling like he is on your tour, he'll be kicking him out pretty soon.
He'll be graduating up to the Pro Tour.
.114 after 9 for Tom. Try to put a little too much on that one.
He's actually Swede Lavers. You didn't know that.
Well,
grew some hair and lost some weight.
According to Wally, he's only 39.
Okay, they're even then.
Wally Warfield has clinched the match. Will be our ADT Fairlanes East Point champion for the 3rd time. An ADT championship will adorn the name of Wally Warfield.
Well, Tom learned something today, but he will take $450 for the lesson, but I'm sure he will be knocking on the winner's door very soon.
So in 6 years, just 3 3-time winners. So it's certainly not something ADT Tour has not been, because of the way that you have it structured with handicaps and bonus pins.
Right.
Somebody could dominate. Almost picked it up.
Maybe. Chad?
As you see now, Wally's 6-2. His next tournament, he's 141-3. So
147. Nice game. Nice rolling.
Yeah, good 3 games for Wally Warfield as he wins it. Captures the $900 first prize and, more importantly, the 3rd of his ADT championships. And we'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
This is Brittany Dargon. She's just like any 8-year-old girl in America, but Brittany is different. Brittany has a chronic heart condition. She desperately needs a heart and lung transplant to survive.
To save Brittany, we need $250,000 for her operation. Store Cable is joining us in this effort, but we need your help. Please send your donation to Brittany Dargan Heart Fund, care of Store Cable, P.O. Box 7253, New Haven, Connecticut 06519.
We've already said no to drugs. What a no we said yes to? Computers?
I like dancing.
Music.
Hip-hop.
Boys.
Girls are weird, because I don't fight over boys, let me tell you right now.
Different types of sports.
I like taking pictures.
My history.
Yeah, I want to go to college.
I like cars. I want to be a lawyer because I like helping people out.
Hey, we don't want drugs. Know why? We have better things to do.
For a lot of people with epilepsy, things have changed. More and more people like these are reaching new heights, traveling new roads, swinging for the fences. Treatment of epilepsy has come a long way. Most people now live normal lives. Most people. Some have more difficulty, and they need more help. Call the Epilepsy Foundation of America, 1-800-EFA-1000. Let's not leave anybody out of life.
That's what I did. I sat my son down, explained it to him, simple, uncomplicated.
At first, I didn't know what he was talking about.
I just took authority, you know what I'm saying?
He was nervous and sweaty. I was thinking, you know, what's this all about?
You know, if they got questions, you just answer them. Well, look,
If you need help talking to your kids about drugs, call for this free book.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
This is where I live. There are lots of doctors and machines for me and the other kids. Last week, a guy named Mike came. He took us all on a camping trip.
Mike gives up a weekend a month to help a disabled child, but he gets back a feeling that lasts forever.
When I get better, you know what? I'm gonna take Mike fishing.
To find out what you can do in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Welcome back to Fair Lanes P.G. I'm Mike Seller, with me Frank Applestein on my left, and we've got Wally Warfield, his wife Jean, on my right. And Frank, why don't you make a presentation here?
Certainly, it's always a pleasure to give someone $900 and a tournament championship.
Thank you very much.
Wally, got off to a quick start in most of the matches. Was that a big help?
Oh, absolutely. But you still had to stay in the game, you know. But I like to jump out on top, let them catch me. That's what.
Well, you did it today. You put your opponents in the hole. Gene, congratulations to you. Thanks for your support in the stands. Frank, thank you. And we'll see you again next time on Duckpin Magic.